You all have absolutely lost your mind on Maze of Millennia pre-sales. You have to stop the insanity. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at pre-sales of Maze of Millennia. We're going to be talking about cards you should be targeting on pre-sale, as well as cards you should definitely be avoiding and waiting until the set releases. That's what we're going to be doing today. My name is Todd from Go2 Cards, and we sell pre-sales on eBay. But just because we sell pre-sales does not mean that I'm going to tell you that you should be buying them. So we're going to jump into looking at pre-sales, but I want to look at pre-sales from an overall perspective first. Because what we learned in 2023, apparently we have completely forgotten in 2024. So let me just say right up front, pre-sales are a dirty, nasty game. They just are. It's a fun game. I absolutely love it. A lot of people love it, but it is a dirty, nasty game. And the reason that it's so difficult is because in any given set, not just Maze of Millennia, but any given set, there is generally 1 to 2 cards that once the set releases, they go up. And then there's usually like 1, maybe 2 cards that kind of stay the same. Everything else will plummet substantially. They will drop, the floor will fall out and they will drop to the ground like a rock. So one of the difficulties of pre-sales is people go in and they buy these cards, and then once the set's released, they see these cards for half price, sometimes more than that. And it's very frustrating. So, and what I recommend to people all the time is that you should be avoiding pre-sales unless 1 to 2 things are true. So either you have a tournament, something big coming up that you absolutely need these cards for, and you're willing to overspend and you don't care, then fine, buy pre-sales. Second, you think that you've identified that one or that those 2 cards that are actually going to go up upon release. If you don't think that you've identified those cards and you don't have a big tournament coming up or something that you absolutely need these cards for, do not buy pre-sales. It will be much better for you to wait. So that's what I always recommend to people. It is a dirty, nasty game in which a lot of people lose. So looking at pre-sales of Maze of Millennia, what are we to make of this? I'm going to bring you over to TCG Player and just show you the craziness that is taking place over there. So let me bring you over there. All right, over in TCG Player. We're in TCG Player land. You got Bonfire sitting here for around $130. You got Transaction Rollback sitting here at about $100. You come down, you got Triple Tactics Thrust sitting here at $50. You got the Buzz King at $30. Ancient Chant. All these cards, 20s. Look, I could go through all these cards and tell you why you should buy them or why you should not buy them. I can make this video way shorter. And here's the answer on what you should buy. Nothing. You should absolutely buy no pre-sales from this set. I would not be buying 1 single card in pre-sale from this set. And the reason for it is there has been a void in the market. A void has been created in the market. And so let me break that down for you. Early pre-sales. You come over here to Gamer's Choice, early pre-sales, okay? You had Transaction Rollback sitting here at $50. They're sold out. They're sold out on Tier 0. Tier 0 had them for $33. I sold mine, I think, for $45, $50, something like that. They're all sold out. Those $50 transaction rollbacks are gone. Now what's sitting here is like $100 transaction rollbacks. This is not a $100 card. It just isn't. And so I know Labyrinth plays it. I know Labyrinth is a really good deck. I get all that. It's still not a $100 card. It's not a $100 card. When the set releases and more sellers get out here, because once all those sellers sold out, Gamer's Choice, Tier Zero, myself, other eBay pre-sellers, once we sold out, that created a void in the market that was filled by other sellers who raised their price. So you are buying these cards at the ceiling. You are not buying them at a deal at all. And when set releases, more sellers are going to be listing these cards and they're going to keep going down. Do not spend $100 on transaction rollback. I don't even care if you have a tournament coming up. That's nuts. It's nuts to do that. It really is. I would definitely not be doing that. Bonfires at 130 over on eBay. They're 115. Big whoop. You get to save, $15. No. When this card first came on pre-sales, it was $80. And then it sold out, they raised the price to $90. And then it sold out, they raised the price to $100. Then it sold out. It just keeps on going up. When more sellers get out here, when the set's released, this card will go down. It's not a $130 card. It is relegated to Pyros. It is a roto for Pyros. This is not generic support. This is very specific to certain decks, specifically Fire King and Rescue Ace and anything that's playing Pyros. And I know those decks right now are the dominant decks in the game, but still there's a lot of decks out there that don't need Bonfire. And because of that, it's going to drive the price of this card down. This card will drop. You do not need to spend $130 for it, or $115, or even $100. This to me is like a $50 card, and it's only a $50 card because of Rescue Ace and because Fire Kings are dominant decks right now. Outside of that, it's more like a $30 card. But I would definitely not be buying pre-sales on Bonfire because you're buying it at the ceiling. Unless you think this card's going to go 150 or higher, which I do not see that happening. But if you think it's going to go higher, then fine. But I think that's unwise. I would not be buying Bonfire. The rest of these cards, you should not be buying these cards. And I'll just walk you through. I'll take you over to TCG Player where you can actually get these cards right now and just show you. Look, Eye of Illusion, which I'm covering. Eye of Illusion coming in at $20. This is going to be like $5 to $7 card. You do not need to spend $20 on this card. Buzz King is a great card. I love this card. I'm targeting this card. I really want this card. But $30? No, this is like an $8 card. So I would not be paying $15. I would not be paying $30, certainly. Triple Tactics Thrust is a little tricky of a card. This is the one card that if you did want to go in and buy it, nobody's going to beat you up on that. I wouldn't buy it on TCG Player because you can still get it on Tier 0 for $40. $40 for Triple Tactics Thrust is not bad, but I do think it's going to go down to about $30, and I would wait. I would wait for that $30 because this card does have a cap. And the cap is there because there's a secret rare version of this card. And so it can only go so high, then it's going to start hitting into that secret rare range, and people are just going to buy the secret rare. So it does have a cap on the card. So we did Transaction Rollback, we did Bonfire, we did Triple Tactics Thrust, Ancient Chant at $30. You gotta be kidding me. You're gonna be able to pick this card up for $5 to $7. Do not spend that. Same thing with Harmonic Synchro Fusion, this is like a $5 card, if that. Don't spend $20 on this card. The Dark World card, first of all, most Dark World players are not even playing this card. They want it for a collection purposes. That's about it. They're not playing this card. It's not a good card because you got to play the bricks. $13 on this card? No. You wait. You're going to be able to pick this card up under $5. The Earthbound cards... That's just nuts. You're going to be able to pick up the entire Earthbound core. I sell. I still have some. The entire Earthbound core for $19.99. It's like 42 cards. You get all the cards. And I'm still ripping you off. I'm just being honest with you. I'm still ripping you off. That core is going to drop. It's not worth it. Same thing. You keep going down. I don't know what else is in here. Basically, don't buy any of these cards. All of these cards are going to fall out tremendously. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about. We talked about pre-sales and the dirty, nasty game that it is. We talked about Maze of Millennia and what's happening. And I don't think that you should be buying one single card on pre-sale from this set because you're buying them at the ceiling. They've already spiked up. The last thing that I want to say, and I know it's trendy to blame Konami for this. And I know that people aren't going to like this and you're going to get mad at me and you're going to stomp your feet and I don't care. I'm going to give you the truth. This is not Konami's fault. These spikes in price, this is not Konami's fault. You don't have to pay $130 because of Konami. Konami did not set the price at $130. It's not even the pre-seller's fault. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a pre-seller, because the pre-sellers set the price at $80. This is the fault of the Yu-Gi-Oh community that we did this. And because it's just a simple matter of supply and demand. If pre-sellers would have put the card out there at $80 and you didn't buy it, you know what would have happened to that card? It would have dropped. It would have went down to 70. It would have went down to 60. It would have went down to where it should be at 50. The reason that these cards spiked up is because the community said, we're willing to pay for it. And so at 80, you paid for it. Then they raised it. And you said, we're still willing to pay it. And you did. Then they raised it to 100. And you said, we're still willing to pay for it. And you did. And now it's sitting at $130. It's not worth it. If the community gathers together and says, we're not paying these prices, trust me, the prices will drop. That is just how it works. And so the supply is there. The demand is there. Wait for the supply. Just wait until the set is released. That supply is going to meet the demand. There's going to be a lot of these cards out there. Trust me. Wait on this set. Do not buy these pre-sales. My name is Todd from Code 2 Cards. And I am out of here.